Thirsty and 30. Thirsty and 30.
I love yung may pabulong. Thirsty
I
and
know.
30.
Bago mag-end yung countdown. So, Bea, why 30 seconds bigla?
Wala lang, let's be quick. You know, the year was so long last year. Let's get going. Everything should just speed up.
Okay.
Uh,
So, ahem. Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. I refuse to let current events dampen my positivity this year.
lasing ka na.
So, again, Happy New Year. Bea, do you agree?
Yeah, of course, Shari. Let's just focus on what we can control, which is basically the show, who we guest, and our freaking lives. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So, hello, Thirsty Crowd. Welcome to episode 18 of Thirsty and 30, the blind leading the blind chat show on modern love. Our goal is to navigate love with all its complications and quirks so that you can make saner decisions and, of course, feel less lonely. I am Shari, your usual non expert. Our friend Isabel will get mad that I'm reading again from a piece of paper. I'll memorize it next time, I promise.
I know. Don't worry, we're 18 episodes in. You need another 1,000 hours before you master
You
something.
changed it kasi. That's why. Memorize din dati. Okay.
Okay, and of course, I'm Bea, your other non-expert, and this week we're going to cover a sticky subject for some, which is money. I mean, it's one thing last year we talked about virtual dating, breadcrumbing, all this, but money is a whole different topic, and I think it's really uncomfortable for some people. Our finances are something we usually feel uncomfortable discussing with others, and it's sometimes considered rude to bring up on the table, and even on a first date, I think. But frankly, money can give you a sense of stability and freedom, as well as like having the right partner. So, this episode is all about getting financially naked, which a lot of books recommend. Like, you start out just being vulnerable with your finances and making sure that money will grow on trees because it is paper that you've planted independently or with a partner. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we've invited one of my best friends. My friends I tolerate. And
Questionable.
who is an absolute hustler in life. We call her our little go-getter. Well, her other nickname is our black elephant, but that's another story. But she is our go-getter. She is the president of her own BTS fan club. Okay, but seriously, she runs Simply Finance, a financial planning firm committed to helping Filipino women get smarter with their money habits or their money mindsets. So guys, let's welcome Marielle Batanga in. Ako ba magpipid?
I'll bring her in. My God. Like this.
Okay.
Go.
Hi guys. Hi Shari. Hi Bea. Thanks for having me.
Did you like her intro? Look at how nice
Yes,
Shari is.
thank you.
It's unusual.
Yeah, finally she's been nice. She's been nice lately.
She slashed the
I'm
adjective.
finally on the show. I've always been a viewer. Now I get to be here. So thank you.
Don't worry, we have special awards at the end of the year. Shari, I think
You're
we're
on mute,
viewers.
Shari.
Ano ba yan, Shari? 2021 na nakamute ka pa rin. Joke. Nakamute ka. Yan.
Oh
Hello?
no.
Okay, we'll wait for Shari to get back. This is what she gets for trolling you, Marielle, in your years of
I
friendship.
know. Oh
Yeah.
my
Okay, so before we
God.
dive in, I kind of just want to understand, how did you get in the money space? Maybe before we wait for.
I got into the money space because of personal experiences. I there's something in my hair. What's this? I was curious about money at around after I graduated college, and no one at home taught me how to handle my money, and I got kind of traumatized with what happened to my personal experiences. So I was like, I need to fix my own money so that when I become, well, I was an adult already, but as an adult, I want to make sure that I have my finances in check so that, problems that I've encountered in the past won't happen again. So yeah, that's where I really started. And when I got into it, I got kind of obsessed with it. And yeah, I made it into a side hustle, and then now it's kind of like my career, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Shari, we'll just check if your audio is fine. Are you good? Yeah, it's gone. It's like,
What the?
minumulto ka. Sige, bumalik ka. Mag-checkan lang kami dito. Actually, when we posted a few of the questions that Shari did for the pre-episode, it's really interesting that a lot of women nabubudol sa pag-ibig. It's
Yeah.
something that we're very caring, nurturing, or sometimes, frankly, very stupid when it comes to love. So I don't know if you can share any stories or like, do you see that happens a lot with women in the Philippines?
Yeah, I mean, just among my friends, our friends, I already know like a couple of stories. And it's funny because even me, like, before I got into this career, I was in a relationship wherein, wait, I don't think it's like balancing. I think it's a bit abnormal already. And yeah, and I see a lot of smart women who get into. I think because as women, we always just wanna what's the term like benefit of the doubt or something, or we kind of
Yeah.
believe that people can change, and since we are their partners, we can find a way to like
How
change
about
them.
now,
But
Amin?
more often than not, those things don't change.
Yeah. Shari, we're just talking about how women can tend to lose grasp of their finances when it comes to love. And I think you have one perfect example of someone who shared
Actually,
with us a
I
story.
posed that question on our Instagram, and I got a very interesting one. This girl replied that she was seeing some guy. I don't know how long, she didn't really say, but basically she borrowed 5,000 pesos from him, and then he said, "Can I borrow 5,000 to apply for a job?" And then she tried to ask for the money back, and he ghosted her.
What?
So the question is, guys, let's remember, I don't think companies really ask for money when you apply for jobs.
Yeah.
Diba? Meron bang ganun, guys?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. But
No
you know
idea.
what, baka may pamasahe, kailangan niya ganun ko, mahal yung pamasahe niya. But my grandmother said that my grandfather then tried to borrow like 1 peso, and it was like a complete turn off. I mean, imagine what can you even buy it with 1 peso before. But yeah, he tried to borrow a peso from her, and it like completely turned her off. I guess in like a first few dates or the beginning of a relationship, you should not borrow 5,000 or 1
Pero,
peso.
bakit daw humihiram ng 1 peso?
No.
Hindi ko na maalala, pero ganun nga yung panahon nila, di ba? 1 peso pa. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so guys, before we dive in our topic and before Bea gives us her icebreaker, we do have an anonymous caller, and I think Marielle is perfect here since she is a financial advisor. She would be perfect to give this advice. So,
Okay.
anonymous caller, tell us your story.
Hi, dear. Oh, dear. So, but first of all, I just wanted to say how happy I am that you guys are back. I really felt super lonely. Towards the end of 2020, I was just, I find myself drinking at night on Wednesday nights alone, turning into an alcoholic. But I mean, that's a different issue that we can tackle. But I'm so happy that this is one of the topics that you chose, this finance and romance, because it really struck a chord with me. So just to give you a bit of color, I work in finance, and I've climbed up the ladder and got roughly about 3 promotions in about 5 years. So I'm doing pretty well. I'm a decent saver and I make decent money. I'm pretty conservative in terms of like budgeting and stuff. So I feel like I'm in the right track in terms of my finances. And so here's the clincher, right? There's this book that I live by. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I've read it about 5 times. But incidentally, every time that I read this book, heartbroken din ako. So, ito yung Eat, Pray, Love ko, guys. Secrets of the Millionaire.
It's your notebook.
Hi.
That's so sad.
Um, every time I'm heartbroken, it seems like my bank account, just like my love life, gets emptied out. So Dico gets, I don't understand. So the first time, the guy that I was dating borrowed money for me, pambayad ng renta sa bahay. Naman. Pambayad na renta. Second time around, so fool me once, right? Shame on you. Second time around, the guy borrowed money from me to pay his credit card. Grabe. Pero pumayag naman ako. And then the third time, this guy borrowed money from me to pay his medical bills. I won't even bore you with the fourth or fifth time because 2021 is depressing enough. So I just wanted to ask, like, how do I stop this pattern? Like, I feel like I keep saving just to get my heart broken, and then it's just like a really bad like feedback.
Habit.
And I should. What do I do? Should I start charging people interest just to date me? Is that what I have to do? Ask them for a credit score before I could, once I swipe right. How do I do this? So please, my piggy bank needs your help.
Oh
Thank
God.
you, anonymous caller. Let's ask our professional. Marielle, what do you think?
Don't stop lending your money, first of all. It's always messy to lend money to a partner, especially if you're not married or especially if it's quite new. It's always messy. And if you can't stop falling for men like this, I don't think you need me. You need a psychologist or like really good friends to keep you in check. Yeah, we should stop falling for men like this. I mean, I've been there too, and it's not cute. Even
I
if
like you don't
I
need
don't
a financial advisor.
Wag na, not worth it.
Kailangan mo
Everyone's
lang
gonna get
straight
old.
daw.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hold on, before we continue, guys, let's say hi to our friends Ali, Marielle. I think she's saying hi to you.
Hi,
Jess,
Ali.
Reg, Isa, Kat. Hi, guys. Okay. So, kailangan na lang shrink kapag palagi ka nabubudol.
Sakit
Bea,
niya.
ikaw, meron ka bang advice?
Wow. Yung tanong ko kay Maria, like, how do you get over the whole, when you've been there, you don't want to do that again. How do you make sure you never go back there? Yan.
Well, I guess it's different per person, right? But if you're traumatized enough from that experience, I think you're gonna be well, if you've healed and you have a clearer mind about it, I think your next tendency is to fall for someone that's like, hi Sam or Shari daw.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Like that, the opposite of that, and you're going to be more careful in choosing a partner and make sure that those things won't happen again. But for some, they kind of like attracting the drama and the same story, so it really depends per person. But if you want to change, then you have to be really really deliberate in making sure that you don't attract the same type of people again.
I think
Well,
this kind
one,
of brings us
yeah,
back to our red flags episode, no? Sometimes we are attracted to the excitement and the challenge. And what's more exciting and more challenging than, actually betting on somebody, literally, with your own money. Diba? So
pero
parang
walang sense kasi walang return. Like, you're expecting the person to return. Let's say you're paying for a credit card. What's gonna come back to you? In
love.
favors?
Pagmamahal, Bea.
How many meals am
Pagmamahal.
I looking at? How many massages am I looking at? Like, let's do conversion here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that some people can get into a rut or like problems, and as a partner, sometimes you have to understand that. But at the same time, if it's like a pattern, like even his freaking credit card bill, not even an emergency, then that's kind of scary, right? Parang why?
Yeah. One question for this situation, Marielle, are there certain investments or certain ways they can save money where it really locks it up? Now you can't just like transfer it to, you know what I mean?
I mean, well, most like investments would take time to withdraw, especially like let's say like a bank or something.
Yeah.
The only ones that are really easy to withdraw are the ones in your savings account, because even time deposits would require like a sort of withdrawal process. So most investments, especially like, let's say your investment is like real estate, then that would take a while to liquidate or stuff like that. But Well, if it's like mga Bitcoin or cash, madali lang yun i-transfer. So be careful also.
Marielle, I have a question.
Oh,
What about women or people who use this as like some sort of anchor? Like how you can lock somebody in. So I'm assuming sometimes people would loan money to their partners in the false pretense that they will trap this guy. Do you have advice? Like, are there certain investments that you feel like, okay, and that's it's a bad advice, I understand. But are there
the
certain
hell? What the
are there certain investments that you think that would lead to like strengthen a relationship? Like, oh my God, sige na nga, let's be together. Let's buy a dog together. Or let's buy like shares to this one or let's invest in a restaurant. Ano yung mga naririnig mong stories na you feel like some people used it to cement a relationship?
Kaloka.
I know some people who've invested in real estate with their ex partners, and then it's kind of hard to divide after because you still have to like deal with like selling it or something, and then
Yeah.
while you're waiting for the seller, you do the negotiations together, or like what if it was only named after one person, and then so everything will be left like all the payments, so stuff like that. I've heard all of that. So I guess, Shari, what kind of question is that? How to lock someone?
I'm saying is some people I've heard or I've seen people who use their finances to secure a relationship. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it. Some women or some men are very wealthy and they use their money to lock in a person. It's a fact. People do it. So I'm saying is what
I
stories
think
have you
not even
heard?
I think not even an investment. I think like the lifestyle. Like if you give this person like a dreamy lifestyle na parang they've never had before in their own homes, and you give them that, syempre they get silaw na parang, oh my God, now I'm living here. Now I have a driver. Now I can shop this and that. And I think that lifestyle, not even an investment, but that type of lifestyle, some people get hooked to that if you take
Yeah.
that from them, or even if they know the situation shitty, they can't leave because they don't want to go back to their old lives. So I think more than like what investment, I think it's the lifestyle that the other person provides that's really
The
addictive.
lifestyle. Okay, so before you move on, let's answer a couple of questions.
Yes, I'm thinking these are really good questions that I feel
Okay,
like.
so what's a smart and safe investment with a partner then?
What's a smart, safe investment? I don't think the investment is the question. Is it safe to invest with your partner? Do you trust your partner enough that even if you break up and you have to split whatever assets you have together, will it be a smooth process, or will this person run away with it or be hard to deal with? There's so many safe investments out there. It's just the usual, right? All of the safe investments are safe investments for a couple. But you know, make sure that your boyfriend or your husband is safe. You know what I mean? Like if whatever goes to whatever, it's gonna be easy to deal with. I think that's a better question to frame.
I
Like,
have a
yeah.
Okay.
follow-up question for that, but I think our
Yeah.
anonymous caller needs to go.
Yeah, let's ask her
Um,
first. Did we help you, anonymous caller, or do you have follow-up questions?
I'm currently looking for a psychologist to speak. Yeah, if you guys
good luck.
honestly.
Progress is
Guys,
key.
Thank you so much, anonymous caller. Love over, ay, brain over love. Tama ba yun?
Wait, one question I have, Maria, is you said it's important to, rather than the investment choice, it's the partner. What are
Mhm.
some of the red flags or green flags that this person is actually worthy of discussing investment and, growing the money tree?
You think it's a time thing, Marielle?
I don't think it's a time thing because I do have some friends. I think she's watching over here. She married her boyfriend 3 months after they became boyfriend, right? Ali, you're there. So
Hi.
so time isn't I can't say with time, but I think it's
Mm-mm.
the you know your trust your instincts, I guess, and also trust like maybe the people around you, your family, your friends. If it's light, then it's probably if your instinct, like if your feelings with him are light and that you can really trust him and your family and friends feel okay with him, then it's probably right. But if everyone is like telling you to like leave that person, listen, like there are so many times you guys would tell me like no, 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 but I can't say no. I'll keep going. And at the end of it, you were all right. And
Yeah.
It's sad. It's hard to admit, but sometimes the people around you can see through these people more than you because we're blinded by the infatuation.
That's why we call Marielle our little black elephant. That's one of the reasons. That's why. But
What
also, Marielle is with our favorite person. Ed, if you're watching, we're so bought up. No?
I
Okay,
think we have
continue. Marielle.
no, I was just wondering, are there any
Huh?
rather than bump, diba?
Okay, si Ed. I like Ed more than
No,
Marielle. Joke lang.
I don't think he's here, but I think he's a meeting. But rather than being a bum, right? Let's not go with bums, guys.
Tama.
tama yan. No
Tama.
bombs. Yan ang pinaka-red flag.
Okay, another question before Bea gets to our icebreaker. Like we need to break the ice with Marielle, but tradition. But here first. Thoughts on getting joint account with your partner?
It's really a very personal thing. Some people do it, some people don't. Like some couples do it. Some like I did a little survey with some of my married friends. Some don't have joint accounts yet, some do. So it depends, but I think the important part is before you get married, you have a talk about it. Like how are you gonna divide our money? How are we gonna budget at home? Are we gonna have joint accounts or keep separate? But then decide, okay, every month the husband gives 20,000, the wife gives like what, 15, 20 as well. So decide on your metrics as a couple. But I think the important part is to make sure that you decide on what your metrics are and decide with like how much each are contributing if it's both of them, and yeah, commit to that. I think that's what's most important because it's different. Some really don't have joint, some do.
Mm.
So yeah.
Ano, Shari, ikaw, boto ka sa joint account?
Do you think
Or one
do you
account?
allowance account? Joke lang. Do you think Marielle, a pet is a big investment as a couple? I think
Oh
so.
my
I think
God.
a pet is a financial and emotional investment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
I have a friend na parang when they broke up, talagang the dog was like the issue na parang I need like pag-agawan sa dog. So
I will fight down to like my last centavo for my dog. Like I'm not even joking. Okay, Bea, your icebreaker. Come on.
Wait, we have one more question. I think people
Ay,
are
okay.
engaged, so let's ask this one. I think this is a good one. How
Mm.
to curb a partner's online shopping habit? Already disconnected his auto pay, but remembers his CC number and orders things while drunk. Sino to?
I'm ready.
Reggie, tama na ang online shopping. Ano ba yan?
So funny because usually the girls are the ones that are into online shopping.
Ano,
Um,
ano binibili niya?
I guess commit to an amount like every month. This is your only budget for online shopping, and then beyond that, move it to the next month. That's I don't know how you can curb it. Because like even for us, even with diets, like how can I ask my partner to stop eating? Like it's hard, it's hard. So I don't know. What can you do? What can you offer him? That's really
Anong
What can you offer? Step up and offer something other than online shopping. Alam mo, honestly, my view on online shopping is if you're making enough money and you know how to budget and you're not buying things beyond your means, shop till you drop, man. Parang, I mean,
yeah,
you
like
deserve you
the
really
tower
deserve
that
it.
I just bought, which is so stupid.
Wait, before we move on to
Ayan.
Bea's icebreaker, let's just give credit to Ed's fan club. I love Ed.
No.
I love
Girl,
Ed.
we should have got him to
Puro
guess.
Ed, we love you daw. Nobody, Mariel, I love you daw.
Oh,
No,
I know.
okay.
Anyways,
Okay, go
here,
on.
I mean, this is very common. Lagi ng may delivery. Like, I have one of these classes where the women say that their husbands see the add to cart. Like, palagi daw may add to cart at palagi daw may dumadating sa bahay. First thing is expenses. Number 2 is COVID. Wala daw takot eh. I don't know. Anong gagawin dyan? Wala.
Um,
Pero to be honest, online shopping, it's for sanity rin, di ba, Mariel? Don't you think? Hello, last night I ordered myself some sweet corn flavored chips on Shopee just so I can shop something and have some snacks, Sanity. Diba?
Hmm.
I think with what Kara just said, do we have a say? It's just money. Yeah, for sure it's just money, but I guess we can come in when it's like a really bad, like it's not even a cute addiction anymore. It's like sira buhay addiction na. He's like in debt na and everything. Nagbebenta na ng gamit para maka-online shopping. So yeah, maybe Pero so we can step in naman sana na, wait, dude, parang ang lala na nito, Wait lang.
Okay. So, hindi naman tayo mag-icebreaker since kilala natin si Mariel. Ito na lang, mag-current events tayo.
Okay.
Besides the new strain of COVID, this is a new set of news. I think, Mariel, you shared this. So, Elon Musk, do we all know who Elon Musk is? He is, ano ba?
Tesla,
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
the richest
Um,
man in the world.
yes, just
Ay,
surpassed
but
Jeff
number 2 na
Bezos.
siya ulit. Number 2 na
Oh,
siya ulit,
sino?
guys.
Ilang hours lang, diba? Ilang hours
A
ba?
day. Well, anyway,
Okay.
sige, go on, Bea.
So I would like to ask you guys, everyone in the crowd, including Marielle and Shari, what would you do if you were Elon Musk's wife? Would you keep your job, or what would you change your job, or would you just completely just manage his meals for the day and his laundry?
Okay.
House.
Since my
Manage his house.
my answer would probably not be as smart as a financial advisor, but I'm sure Asa would roll her eyes. But I would be a fucking sorry language. I'd be a freaking philanthropist. I can do more
Actually, I'll do that
for real.
also.
Like if I was a philanthropist, other than the fact that okay, the money is no pressure. I could be working. I could still be a makeup artist. I could work a 9 to 5, and I wouldn't make as big an impact. Because I mean, money is no object. To be honest, I have the money of my husband. Might as well put all my time and effort into not making money and making a difference that would actually impact people who need it. So, other than the fact that in my head, philanthropists are really wealthy women
Oh
or
my
men who have the extra budget to be a philanthropist, but I would be one. How about you, Marielle? Oh, my
Um,
contra.
well, I do have multiple jobs, so maybe I'll let go of some and I'll stick to Simply. Simply is kind of like a passion project type thing.
Yeah.
So I have fun with it. So maybe I'll stick with that. Pero parang sobrang joke, Simply Finance, pero my husband is the richest man. Don't teach me how to budget. Your husband. So we'll think about that. I'll definitely still do something. Definitely. Maybe open like my dream malalang business. I'm not even sure will make profit, but it's always been my dream. So stuff like that, maybe I'll do. But definitely I'll let go of some stuff because why would I? Just to being real. But I won't not do anything.
Just Elon Musk, if you're listening.
Elon Musk, I'll run your foundations. I'll be there on the side waving. May I answer the question, philanthropist ka rin ba?
I
Or may
would
iba kang
definitely keep
passion?
my job. I'll try to beat him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not gonna compete. I'm not gonna compete. We're just, mga joint.
I'll buy BTS.
project.
I'll buy.
Okay, it
I
sounds like I'm
definitely
being
will.
it sounds like I'm being condescending to philanthropists, but it is a serious answer. I feel like since I'm not pressured to make my money to support myself, I think philanthropy is a good option to take. I mean, I was being a bitch a while ago, but totoo naman, you can make a big difference as a philanthropist. Okay. go ahead.
Yeah, that's why philanthropists have a bad rep because of people like you.
I know, I swear. I know I'm laughing, but I swear in my life, I believe in philanthropy. I promise.
Okay.
Like,
Before you proceed, one good example is Warren Buffett and his wife Susan. Susan was really into like using his money in a good way. So, may chance ka, Shari. Pero,
no, I mean, there are two things to look at. Warren Buffett's wife is one. Jeff Bezos' wife is another one.
Yeah.
Like they both chose two different paths that are both admirable, and they both did something for themselves, philanthropy or otherwise.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's dive into tonight we have scrapped the three-parter, Marielle. What we will do, we will give the audience practical and straightforward advice from Marielle, and the latter part I'm more interested in, if I'm honest. I want to talk about gold diggers and sugar babies, which is always an issue with finance. So Marielle, if you would break it down for us. Albea, you have something else, right? What would you want?
No, let's go straight to the practical advice. We
Okay,
can go
so
to my
Marielle,
other questions later.
3 to 5 practical things that couples who want to blend their finances, want to start blending their finances, what should they do?
Not just blend, grow. We want flourish.
Blend and grow.
Okay, number one, be very clear with where you are at financially, like how much he's earning. Like if you're really serious now, and if you're married or just before getting married, how much he's earning, how much you're earning, also like what your assets are, your debt, because you're gonna bring that debt into your marriage as well. So you have to be honest. Kawawa naman yung partner mo, meron ka palang milyones na utang. Hindi mo sinasabi na surprise, bulaga. So you have to be really honest about those things, and even talk about like how you grew up with money, like how did your parents raise you with money, how his parents were raised, because those things at some point you're gonna clash. Like I grew up spoiled, you didn't. No, we have to give our kid this. No, wow. So all those things will come out in the end. So as much as possible, I guess my point is to just really, really lay everything out, and this is it. This is how I am with my money. This is how I spend my money. This is how I earn. This is how I grew up with money. And then next is what's this? What your plans are for the future. Like, does is the guy willing to, like, spend for your whole household? If he is, and he's capable, then why not? I'm all for that, right? But if you have to split, how much are you gonna split, who will pay for what, stuff like that. Like already decide, so that it's not bulaga again when you're married na, ha, wala ka, ganyan lang pala yung sweldo mo, but di tayo nakatira, blah blah blah. Like all those things happen. What else? Talk about where you are, talk about like how you're going to allocate your budget and spending in your household. Number 3 is also talk about like your goals, as a couple, as a family, like what you want to achieve in like the next year, the next 5 years as a couple, the next 10 years. How do you want to retire? Even like yung pala, he wants to retire in the countryside, you want to retire in like Canada, I don't know. Those things will eventually come up, and it's better to talk about it now rather than one person will always succumb to the other one, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not balanced. So I believe naman in marriage, it's always gonna be like give and take. But there are times when it's like, someone's always giving in more than the other. So it's better that your finances are in order and that you're transparent. So at least when those things happen, you understand each other, and it's not like you're gonna hold a grudge against each other because it's like, I wanted this life, but then he didn't give me this life, and it's like, hey, you never told me. So I guess communication talaga. The main point is communication, and set very clear goals as a couple. And what else? Don't
Marielle,
hide stuff. Like
Marielle, I have a
oh,
question though. I've heard of a few couples who don't blend finances at all and they're married. Do you think that's a rarity or possible naman?
it's not a rarity. I've heard of some that don't blend, but then at the same time, they do have what's this? They do have their specific allocations. Like for one, like this person is supposed to like pay for all the monthly dues. This person is supposed to pay for the electricity and stuff like that. But they don't have like joint accounts. But they do have, I guess, the specific items that they have to pay for. So at some point it's gonna blend there. At some point it
Yeah.
will. Like that roll of tissue paper. Who paid for, like, diba? Will it really come down to that? Like, and sometimes there are couples na parang wait lang, parang for the past 4 months ako na nagbabayad ng grocery, ah. Alam mo yung mga ganon. So
Wala,
rather
nabudol ka na.
Mas malakas ka sa toilet paper.
rather than tipping, tama, what's the term? Like your toes around it. Just at least talk about it already and see who's taya for what, rather than wait lang. Parang I've been paying for his medicine like more than usual. Yung mga ganon. So yeah, communication.
I guess setting that budget, I think that's like, it sounds like such a boring word. And I think sometimes we don't want to have a budget, but it may save a lot of relationships if you already like go, this is our budget. If anything past comes in, like we can still splurge, but like this is the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
if
anything
like
beyond that, it's like, okay, then whatever. That's what you want. You have your own money, then buy that. But I'm done paying for the groceries. If you want more steak, then you buy that steak. I don't know.
Yeah.
what if like you mentioned something about like, it's either imbalance or like sometimes someone will take this side, or what if the girl is earning more? Like, you know how some guys will probably get bruised with their ego, or like how do you handle that? Do you just find someone else who earns more than you or equal? Ano ba?
I mean, like, there are some that definitely earn more than their partners. And I think it's more of a character thing. If you can take that, like as a guy, you like your wife or your girlfriend's earning more, then good for you. But some don't test. So I don't have an answer to that. Like, how do you deal with that? So I think again it goes back to choosing the right partner for you. If you can live with a guy being insecure about you earning more, then go ahead. But if you think you're gonna be pissed the whole time that he's pissed, then don't go for it. I mean, I don't have the right answer to that. I don't think it's a finance answer. I think it's a character thing.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's an ego thing, really. Like being able to handle things like that.
Yeah, or yeah, it's a character thing. Like if a guy can
Mhm.
handle that, then good. But if not, and he's gonna take it out on you the rest of your relationship, then maybe it's time to think like, kaya,
Kyle.
like sometimes I really like wonder about these actresses who are obviously like super like earning a lot, like millions, and then their husbands aren't like in the same industry. And I'm wondering like, wow, I wonder how the husbands feel. Like their wives are like superstars and earning millions. And maybe, those are good examples. I think some I will seem like they're doing well in social media. So I don't know. But I think it can
Yeah.
happen. It's 2021. I mean, hindi na uso na the guy earns more.
And we're managing houses.
Yeah. Pero I guess norms, cultural norms, it's really hard to deviate from it. And I guess the norm, whether we like it or not, is the men earn more. And I feel like it boils down to security in men. It's a them issue and not a you. You're not supposed to earn less because they're insecure about how much you make. So parang hindi mo na problema yun. Diba? Or is that just feeling error of me to say?
Is it? I don't know. As a woman, is it our problem? Like,
No, it's not. Not at all. If you want to earn more, then work harder. I feel like that's the only
yeah.
solution.
I mean,
You
there
can't
are only
expect
two
some.
ways to, well, maybe three. One is to just be very proud of your partner. Two is
Mhm.
let that motivate you to work harder. Or
Yeah.
three, to be a shitty person about it and like take it out on your partner.
Oo.
There's only
Yun lang
three.
talaga. Tatlo lang.
Yeah.
Tatlo lang.
Let's talk
Okay.
about red flag, Sherry. Come on.
Yun
This
nga,
is
I was
important.
gonna say, what's more interesting? So I have a few things na I want to talk about specifically to red flags. Do you think being kuripot is a red flag? Being stingy early on in the relationship, is that a red flag of what's to come?
How stingy? What if like the girl grew up in a stingy household and that turns her on? You know what I mean? It depends.
No, I think to be honest, I think somebody who's practical, is an attractive quality. But then stingy is something else. That's not being practical. Like say you eat out and then this person chooses to let's share a meal instead of buying this, or let's not eat out at home because you know that he has the money, you know he can do it, you know that you both can eat out, but if he chooses to kasi kuripot siya, is that a red flag?
Wala. Yeah, that's a red flag, and more often than not, he's not gonna change. People like that don't change. Or recently, so this girl that I'm friends with, so she's in the stock trading industry naman. She posted a vlog recently about this, like dating guys who earn less than you. So she was dating this guy basically on dates. It's on her vlog. On dates, during dates, pag magbabayad na sila ng bill, she'd have to slip her wallet under the table so it would seem that he's paying. Because his ego can't take that the restaurant staff would see that she's paying. So every time they ate out, she'd have to slip her wallet under the table so that it would seem he was paying.
Oh
So
my God,
she left.
yeah.
It's like labo. So
Okay.
yeah, red flag.
From our dear friend, kuripot, that's a typo, proper is. Kuripot is the worst quality. Okay. From our dear friend Isa, we agree with you.
Yeah.
Another one. How about always KKB? Is that a red flag?
Mm.
Yeah, syempre give and take. Syempre as a woman, especially early on in the relationship. Syempre at first you wanna be rude, diba? Pero,
Yeah.
after a while, medyo magbibigay na rin yung... Well, yeah, if you wanna talk about the norm, diba? then that's the norm. So medyo pag KKD lahat, yung tipong, wait lang, sa parking I gave 50 cents. Tapos he's gonna ask for the 50 cents for the next date. Parang wait lang. That's
Oh.
kind of scary.
Padala mo naman ako ng donut. Padala mo naman ako ng something. That's like KKB all the time. Okay, another
Yeah,
one. Okay, this one I think personally, Marielle, I think is a red flag, but I don't know if you would agree or disagree. Always expecting to be paid for or supported early on in the relationship. I think
yeah,
it's a
that's
red
a red flag also. Yeah, I think it's a red flag also. Just because, what to explain? Yeah, I think it's a red flag.
naman. Oo
Parang
nga.
wait lang, like, be a little bit discreet naman about it, diba?
I
I
don't.
have a client, so funny. He was with his long-term girlfriend, maybe more than 3 years. Their whole relationship of 3 years. The only thing she paid for was a tumbler of popcorn. Their whole 3-year relationship. And I
Are
was
they
like,
still
anong
together?
tanga mo rin? No na, no na. The girl is married na, no?
Ah.
Some guys like that. Some guys like that they have the power and their egos are boosted whenever they spend for women. So I guess you have to find your match. But it's just funny. Their whole 3-year relationship, she only paid for a tumbler of popcorn. And I was like,
Alam mo,
huh?
randomly, I just remembered, I got advice from like a tito of Manila who told me na parang, Shari, don't forget that when you're married, the money that you earn, don't stop earning money because the money that you earn is for you and the money that your husband
I've
earns
heard this.
is for you and for your family. Do you agree, Marielle, or do you disagree?
I heard this.
Wait,
Ano
the
ba?
money you earn is for you and the money he earns is for your family.
Yeah.
Tama? Is that what you said?
Oo, that's what he
Well,
said.
no naman. But just have allocations as a family. And okay, how much of his money and my money will go to the family's money? But not naman lahat.
I think your point niya is women shouldn't stop working so they have their independence, but men, I
Yeah,
guess
I
it's a very typical thing that men provide for the family, which I guess it's very 1990, right?
Ayan,
yeah.
sabi ni Mila, it's so tiring na KKB forever. You have to do accounting down to the single last item. And especially like that. Yan, tama ka nga. Tama.
I mean, it's 2021. 2021. And you know what I've noticed, especially in our generation. I don't know. Am I being biased? But parang the women are more hustle. Like they're more. Parang women are like hustlers now. Parang mas maraket and everything. So it's not uncommon na the girls aren't doing anything or the girls might be earning more because
I'll
we're
they,
especially now during the pandemic, everyone has an online business, and it's like it's nice to see that women are stepping up and women are. I don't know. Ito na naman yung girl pa. Okay, I
no,
know you wanna veer away from the
no,
other.
I agree because I feel like men are very good at their 9 to 5 and stable jobs, and I feel like women are way better at finding other modes of income, which usually
Yeah,
is better for your time and better for income, surprisingly.
women are more creative, I think, with like, okay, how am I gonna earn from this situation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Therese,
for
I
the
agree
long,
with you. I also wanna be different. Are you there? Buy me the chimney stuffed toy.
Okay, so speaking of being creative, this is a topic that I think we need to really discuss, which is gold digging, sugar babies, second families, mistresses, all sorts of. It's a big bomb. So,
yep,
Sherry, maybe lead it on.
we'll lead it. Gold digging. Oh, we're gonna lead it.
Everything, all of this. I mean,
Sorry.
this is common in our society, which is all
Okay.
about, this controversial topics about you're not sure if it's really gold digging or just someone wanting
No,
that lifestyle.
let's start with gold digging first, which is I think is the most common. To be honest, I
Agree.
think there's a very thin line
Yeah.
between being practical and being a gold digger. It's how to identify where you fall under. Because I believe, okay, fine. Times are tough, and you always want to be with a partner who's stable. You want to be with a partner that you know you can fall back on. But when is it gold digger? When is it na
Yeah.
you're in a relationship because this person has money? Which is pretty evident in some. But sometimes people are better at, kind of hiding it. Ano opinion nyo?
Um, I think like as a woman, you should really be honest with yourself. am I really just in this for the money? You know yourself. You can't lie. Like, if that's
Oo.
the only reason or the biggest reason, then maybe you are gold digging. But some end up falling in love with the people they gold dig. So it becomes an even grayer area. Hindi, mahal ko naman eh. So I don't know. But if that's the only reason why you're with someone, or that's the main reason why you're with someone, then maybe it's
Pero,
really a gray.
but alam mo, honestly, people say it's a gray area, but in my honest opinion, it's a black and white thing. Because, okay, let's say ako yung madaming pera, and this guy, I know I'm not a moron. I know that this person is with me for a specific reason. And it's not my personality. It's not what I can offer them emotionally. It's because of my money. So sometimes I feel like it's either this person is such a good actress or actor that they can fool you into thinking that it's love and it's not money. But it's also like a flip side na you take solace in the fact that you can offer money. And maybe down the road
Yeah.
that's somehow secure enough for you that can score you partnership or something. I don't know. Bea, you're being silent. What do you think?
What do you think? It's a gray area for me. Parang, I don't know.
It's very, I don't know.
About this. Oh, ikaw, Bea, what do you think?
Whether when it's gold digging or not, I don't know. It's sometimes really confusing. I think it's just a perception of people. I think if you're asking for an allowance and then you get upset. So one example is someone loses all their money. Let's say those like
Mm.
superstars, like basketball players that they get injured and the
Yeah, yeah.
person doesn't stay with them. I think that's gold digging. But if they stay
Yeah,
with them with the injury and they go through all that mental, the mental and physical pain, then it's definitely not gold digging. It's either they're really good at acting or it's not gold digging.
yeah,
That's like,
yeah.
No,
If they
kasi
run out the door the moment you become bankrupt, or you
yeah.
can't provide that lifestyle anymore, then definitely that's what they do. But if they stay with
no.
you, then maybe they love you, you know?
No,
Or
kasi
have no
no, yung point ko kasi it boils down to sometimes I feel like you always underestimate the person that you're talking to, you're speaking to. You always think that you're smarter. So this person you think that you're manipulating into in a relationship because they're wealthy. Do you honestly think that they're not smart enough to think that you're in it for the money?
um
99.9%. I mean, I'm sure
yeah,
they would know
I
you're in it for something.
agree with Therese. Some guys
Hmm.
may know and they might like it kasi trophy yung hinahanap nila and they just
Oh,
want
yeah.
and and some guys they get turned on by the fact that people use them for their money because it's a weird ego thing. So if that's what they're looking for,
No.
they might know, but they're okay with it.
A quote that I would use from somebody I know very well. He would say, "Na it's a sort of charity. The women he's with, he knows is with him for the money, but he knows he's helping out. So his term is
Why
charity."
does this charity seem, why does this charity seem very familiar?
Familiar. Thank you ka ba dyan or ano?
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But in his head, he rationalizes it as charity and helping out. And these women think na, they're showing affection for money. So yun na rin yun. Gold digger, whatever.
It's like yeah, it's like with sugar babies, sugar daddies. I watched that Christian Amanpour ba yun, na parang she interviewed some and it's give and take. Like some, they just want a companionship. Some they just want to feel young. Some give business advice. So it's like a mutual thing that the sugar baby naman doesn't necessarily have to give sex. Sometimes it's just companionship and the sugar daddies are happy with that. So sometimes they know.
Pero
I,
Mariel,
yeah.
your opinion on gold digging. Can you rationalize it in a sense na it's being practical? Or is it just
Uh,
malicious?
I totally understand for some people, maybe they want to get out of their current situations and that's the easiest or that's the best way they think they can. Um, we don't know where everyone's coming from, right? Or they just want a better life and they feel, okay, I can just go dig rather than work my ass off. So that's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, that's their life. I'm being diplomatic. But for me
Don't be
lang,
diplomatic, Mariel. Be candid.
my warning lang to all gold diggers out there. Make sure that number one, who you're gold digging, legit yan. Kasi what if all floozy lang naman yung pera na yan? Na he may drive a sports car, he may live in the best apartment, yung pala wala namang laman yung bank account, or it's all illegitimate money. You know what I mean? So make sure that hindi ka gold dig mo. If you're a smart gold digger, make sure you know who you're digging. Number 2, make sure you're protected. Okay, if you're gold digging, make sure that kung mamatay pa yan bukas or all his money, burns down or like whatever, make sure that you have your own money. Make sure that you have your own investments. That if he like disappears tomorrow, you're okay. You know what I mean? Just be careful about that. If you're super kapit na kapit to this person and he suddenly disappears with his money and you're left with nothing, then that's where the trouble is. But if you're being smart about it, you have to protect yourself financially as well and make sure you have your own things going on. If you go down that route.
So, Bea and Mariel, I have a question for the both of you. Do you both have like personal experiences or first-hand information about something that's nabudol yung tao? Or
Yes.
somebody who got sucked in? Personal experience or of a friend, please share with the
Okay,
audience.
so I'll share first. Okay, of a client. So she was dating this guy. And I asked her if I could share. Yeah, she's dating this guy who drives a sports car. He's a CEO of his own company. He's like, he really dresses himself well. He's well traveled. So you'd really think, wow, he's really successful for his age and everything. Pero wala naman palang savings. He can't even pay his credit card bills, to the point that even like the grocery bills, he'd borrow like the grocery he'd ask his girlfriend to pay my client. So you know what I mean? Sometimes what you see on the outside isn't really what's happening like behind closed doors. So let's not get fooled also with those that seem like they have everything together and are, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Be careful lang. Kasi baka nabudol ka na kala mo he's all that, hindi pala. And then ikaw pa yung uutangan at the end. And then personally, my experience, I lived with this guy, and oh my God, he was a bum. And I was 20. How old was I, Shari? Early 20s. I was paying bills for 2 people.
22?
22.
Oh,
I
mga
was paying
ganun.
bills for 2 people, and I was 22 years old sweldo. So you know what I mean? Like, why? Why did I get myself through that? So even after the relationship, may utang pa sa akin. And I'm like, am I the right person to borrow money from, really? So, yeah.
Kasi
It's traumatic.
affectionately, we called Mariel
It's
our little heart evangelista, because it was always us against the world. That's our trooper, Mariel. But Mariel is really, she's our go-getter, I have to say. Maldita siya, but she's our go-getter. How about you, Bea? Personal experience.
How about you, Bea?
Personal experience? Wala, siguro more of like, personal experience yung ayaw magtrabaho. Yun, medyo nahihirapan ako. Like, the point na like, ano mangyayari dito? Magugutom tayong dalawa. But, another experience, I think the whole world has heard enough of my experiences in the last 17 episodes. I had a friend in college where she basically slept with someone. She was dating like 5 dates, and then on the 5th date, they slept together. Paggising niya, wala na yung gamit niya, wala na yung laptop niya, yung pera niya. I was like, 5 dates, so much investment na parang, ano tawag doon? Akyat bahay. So,
Akyat bahay siya, oh my God.
yeah, but it was in Australia, everyone was a hipster, so medyo may parang, I guess, creative pursuits yung tao, whether drugs or something, I don't know. Yeah.
Mariel Priestless response. Sabi ni Cara, she has Ed now. Go get her. Sabi naman ni Ed, not for long. Yeah, right, Ed. You're hooked.
Ed.
Yeah, right, Ed. Recently I've heard a story of some man who's in his 50s who's very attracted to this girl in her early 20s. And the only time that this girl would give him a phone call or a video call is when he donates money to her live stream. Friends, I don't know what you call that, pero nababudol si 50-year-old. Warning lang. Wag na kayo mag-donate sa live stream pag video call lang ang kapalit.
Okay, I have one big question. This is something that What do we think about prenuptials? Like, Marielle, do you agree with them? Should people have them? Do they kill the romance? What do you think?
Neutrals? What's that?
Sorry, prenuptials. Like before the, what do you call it? Before the
Prenuptials.
prenup. Sorry.
Bea's Australian is coming out. It's how I pronounce it, prenuptials.
I can never ever pronounce that word. That's why I'm like
Your
Um,
Australian's coming out.
prenuptials. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a practical thing to do. Because what if the guy comes from a family where they have businesses, and what if that business is in debt? And that prenup will actually, might even save you from, like, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's needed. Just make sure that if the other party presents you the prenup, you have like a good lawyer also to make sure to double check everything and that you understand everything. But again, it's 2021. Some would need it. It's not even about romance anymore. It's just being practical, because there are other parties involved. It's not just your partner's money.
Mm.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
So,
Kara.
I
Nosebleed
know.
there, siya.
Nosebleed. What
Sorry.
did you say? Prenup? What is it?
I
Yeah, I
can
was like,
never.
Ano
neutral.
daw?
No,
Ariel, Australian tayo. Oh,
no,
Therese
a lot.
said, guys, Therese said, always have prenup. Whatever property you bought as a single person can become joint once you marry. But I think,
Yeah.
Marielle, you were the one who told me about Beyonce's prenup. It's pretty good. Guys, if you get offered a
Yeah,
decent
yeah.
prenup like Beyonce, take it. I mean,
So I'm not sure with the numbers, but I read somewhere. Just Google it na lang to get the accurate numbers. But every time she gives birth to a child of Jay Z, a
it's a
child with Jay
million.
Z, she gets $1 million, and every year they're married, she gets like a lump sum of something. And then if they break up or divorce less than 10 years into their marriage, she gets like a huge lump sum as well. So basically, she's earning every year they're together, and every time she's giving birth.
I'll be
Yeah,
like,
they're,
I'll be like, I'll be like a manok, like just popping out the kids.
yeah.
Or
There,
okay,
I actually agree with Therese, but we're still living in the Philippines, and some people take it to heart and like get
yeah,
offended that they're actually being offered the prenup. So for some,
yeah.
it's really touchy. But it's 2021, guys.
No,
Just have, I agree
I
with you also.
I agree with Marielle also. It is a sensitive issue, and I think things are easy to see black and white, but sometimes there really are gray areas. Culture is a big issue. Na people can't just push aside. Culture is a big thing, and I refuse to let go of my personal issues if culture standards, and if I marry somebody outside my culture. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
I think it boils down to conversation and respect. So guys, let's we are towards the end. I know Marielle, we had a game in Discord, but somehow I don't know how this conversation. We've been talking for 57 minutes. I didn't even notice. You know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun.
You're red.
I know.
Sorry, red or
I'm missing. Kasi si Marielle said she was gonna drink. I don't even drink during our shows now. I'm like, if Marielle's gonna drink, makikiinom ako. Okay, so
Wait,
let's
wait,
go.
I have one question. Sorry, before we go
Okay.
to your thing.
Yeah.
Engagement rings, if you break up the engagement, should you return it? Or
Wait,
expensive gifts.
wait. Before our financial manager answers, I think it depends why you're breaking up. If he fucking cheats on me, or it's his fault, I'm keeping it and I'm selling it for a trip.
Wait, Kara
Relax,
has a
relax.
question. Kara has a
Oh,
question.
okay. Okay, here.
What do you
What
guys
do you
think
guys
about?
think about dating someone who can't stick to one career, always switching jobs? Is this a red flag with regards to future financial stability? Financial planner, please tell us your opinion.
How often is this person switching, and what type of career is it? Like
Kara, sino yan? Sino yan?
it
Basketball player siya bukas, and
like
then rapper.
parang flirting tayo pero nagtatry pa rin siya mag-artista? Ganong klase ba? Or I
Okay,
don't
okay.
know. What type of career, Kara? Seryosong career?
Kara,
Or
tell us the question and we'll answer you. Be more
you wanna
specific.
come up here, Kara?
You wanna dial in? No, seriously, Kara, we're waiting for your answer. Okay, so guys,
Yeah.
more red flag stories. Meron pa ba kayong mga secret things while we're waiting for Kara to type up her response?
How about yung mga lalaking ginagamit yung pera nila para sa ibang babae. How do we feel about that? I mean,
Girl
besides
naman.
anger. Besides
Wag lang.
anger.
Bea, hindi yan tinatanong. Yun, obvious na yun. Pag yung lalaki ginagamit yung pera, ano ka ba?
Okay, I have one friend.
Graduate na tayo doon.
Wait, I have one friend.
Oh.
Na kwento niya sa akin na basically yung lalaki, ginamit daw yung budget nila for a date with a girl na sobrang mahal yung restaurant. As in like yung type na hindi pa silang dalawang nakakain, pero silang dalawa. Itong bagong girl lalo niya, ginamit na yung pera para dun. Tapos hindi pa daw siya nakakain ng sushi, kaya pinakain niya dun. Yun.
Bea, cut na yan, cut. Okay, Maria. Parang he always changes his interest. So I'm assuming, okay, like a stupid analysis. He's a rapper one day, he's a businessman the other, he's a mathematician next week. Okay, what do you think?
I mean, is he bringing home money with those random jobs or lahat zero naman? If lahat zero naman, medyo matakot ka na. But if he's earning naman from each industry, I don't know.
Yan.
Yeah, it's a red flag. But malay mo, he's earning millions naman from those random things. He's just jumping. Di ba creative?
Oo nga. He's a genius, creative genius.
But if it's like, walang substance naman or wala namang masyadong bearing, then matakot ka na.
O kapag sabi niya gusto niya maging sculptor bukas, wag na yun. Okay, here, another good question. Where do you draw the line with a guy? Like from when he's being frugal and saving properly and kuripot na?
Alam mo, basta may narinig akong kwento recently naman na parang they're only boyfriend-girlfriend. But every time they spend over 2,000 pesos, they have to ask each other if okay lang. And
2,000?
Yeah. And they're not even married. They don't even live together. That for me is weird. Like,
Agreed.
why do I have to ask for your permission? Like, or not recovering shopping addicts. You know what I mean? I get it if you're AAA partners, but like, that's really weird.
What's a threshold
anyway,
for you, Mariel?
This question, where do you draw the line? Pag inis na inis ka na, Therese, parang weird na to. If alam mo na deep down na inis ka na and it's not normal anymore, then believe your instinct na it's not normal anymore.
Yeah, pero Mariel, what's a threshold, money, amount-wise, with what Therese said? Like, when do you ask permission with what you spend?
You don't.
Magkano?
I mean, if it's your own money, because they're not even like married or they don't live together. Why would you need to ask permission? But
Married,
if you share, if
yeah.
married, and kasi syempre to some people, 1 million means this thing to one couple, and 1 million means one thing to another couple, right? So,
oh wait, okay, yeah. So
Diba?
before Kara said, may income naman, parang lahat lang ng racket pinapatulan. Yun naman.
Maybe he's like Colonel Sanders, KFC founder. Diba? Ang dami niyang
basta
pinuntahan.
yung important para may income. Matakot ka dun sa walang income. Yun.
I think dapat may base income. Like if let's say 10,000 pesos, which is very low. But I'm saying if he's a type of person who rackets and he earns all the time less than 10,000 pesos a month. Again, 10,000 is very low. But I'm just saying is you should have a minimum.
Under our minimum wage, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's over like minimum wage.
Yeah.
Ano naman pang-date sa'yo, diba? Anong pag-gastos niya kung minimum wage para sa'yo?
Yeah. Okay. So guys, I want to go to our takeaways, but this last question from Mela is good. What do you think of guys who have money but not their own? They still get money from parents, car from parents, and house from parents.
That's really the reality of many people right now. But yeah, that's okay naman. I mean, don't take it against them because it's alangan naman mag-no ka. If your parents give it to you, will you really say no? Let's just be real here. But it goes back to my same advice, the same way with, those gold diggers, na parang dapat you as a person or as a couple, anytime those privileges are taken from your family or from you guys, the car, the house, anytime they disappear, dapat you guys are okay, no matter what. Parang ganon, you're not relying solely on it. It's just an add-on. Thank you very much. But anytime those things are taken away from you, you have to make sure that you can provide that for yourselves as well. So I'm not gonna lie and say no, don't take it. Like accept it. If your family wants to give, then accept it. If it's aligned with what you believe in, it's aligned with your life. But just make sure that anytime it's taken away from you, you're okay. And that you can provide that for yourself as well.
Okay. Thank you, Marielle, for the good advice. I think we got from practical to the
Ridiculous.
cheapness. Yeah, to the ridiculous side of it. So I want to hear the takeaways from, I guess, from me and Bea first before we get last minute advice from our professionals. So Bea, what did you take away from this episode?
Huwag ka mabudol. No, no income is something you should be scared of. And
Yeah.
bums, number 2. And then the last thing I think, if you're wanting to really grow your money tree, is a bonsai a money tree? Bonsai?
I think
I
so.
have no freaking idea.
Anyway,
Mm.
if you want to flourish in life, I think it's important to get like really honest with someone and like be upfront whether you had debt, all these issues like shopping addict or budol addict or whatever, and then decide what you guys want together. And I think that's important. Yung whole like pareho kayo ng values or like retirement plan. Kasi kung iba like you're really gonna clash and then you're gonna end up fighting and money is, you're gonna end up
Like all
fighting.
subject.
Yeah, 2,000 for you could be like, wala lang. For 2,000 for this person is like, oh my God, magkakapalpitation na yung tao. So it's really aligning with each other. So that's where I'm at. Align, make sure you're similar, and thrive in that. Yeah.
Yeah. My takeaway is communication as usual. Like our past episode is always key. I know, medyo lasing na ako. Guys, it's my first drink since the new year. Marielle said kasi she was drinking, so nakainom ako. So anyway, okay. Again, communication is key. That's number 1. And then I guess looking back to Margie Holmes, like when she said that the only change that you can expect is from yourself. I think you're never supposed to forget that your own financial freedom is important, because your partner can disappear in a snap. I mean, no matter how much you romanticize it, horror stories happen. And I guess I don't know, because I've been a freelancer for years, so I've always been obsessed with saving money, saving for a rainy day, and I feel like that's something that you should not forget. No matter, even if I do marry Elon Musk, what if he leaves me and his lawyers are so good? I have to have my
Yeah.
own savings.
Palitan
Diba?
ka. Palitan ka.
So,
A new car.
communicate and always look out for your personal finances before you worry about blending your finances with somebody else. So that's my main takeaway. Marielle, ikaw, sound advice for our viewers out there.
Yes. Pia said very
Honestly,
practical episode, sabi niya.
Thanks, Pia.
just make sure you're okay no matter what, even if you don't have a partner, like even with your own family. Like if anything happens to anyone in the world, like I don't know, everyone disappears, you should be okay, because at the end of the day, yeah, it sounds so sad, but at the end of the day, you only really have yourself. So
Yeah.
because anyone can be anyone, you know what I mean? Even your own family members can be shitty, and like you just gotta make sure that no matter what happens, even if your partner leaves you, you're okay. For me, that's the most important. Make sure that you're safe and you're secure on your own, so that um you can love whoever you want. You can be a sugar mommy if you want, to be honest.
Gusto ko
If that's
yan.
your thing,
Love
right?
whoever you want.
I have, if I'm being honest, I have no judgment for sugar dads and sugar moms. As long as you're not stupid na you're not a
If
sugar,
you know what
you
you're
lie
getting
to
yourself
yourself.
into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basta alam mo, more power. So, okay. So, again, thank you, Marielle, for being our very amazing guest, our first guest of the year. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Okay.
Year.
So, Bea, for our next episodes this month we are focusing on 3 F's. And that leads us to finding your freedom, aka finances. Bakit nawala si Marielle? Marielle, bakit ka nawala? Come back.
Tago na
You're,
siya.
you're
was
still part
amazed.
of this.
Okay, okay.
Mamaya na. Okay, so your freedom and finances, that's one. Funny Bone, and Faith. So we've ticked off the episode on finance. Yesterday, Bea and I did an interview with a good friend of ours, Sasa, and she mentioned something. Guys, to our viewers out there who is still listening, tell us what you think. She mentioned something that really irked me, if I'm honest. She said that she has been told multiple times that men find funny women gross or unattractive. So next week we debate it. Yeah. So funny guys finish first and funny girls finish last. That is our next episode. So I need to get to the bottom of this. To our viewers out there, we need to know what you think. So we have two amazing comedians, a boy and a girl, to
Yeah.
tell us and help us discuss this issue. So Bea,
I'm
go ahead.
very excited for that because we are funny girls. Veterans are funny girls. There's a lot of funny girls. I don't think it's disgusting. But
Exactly.
guys, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you picked
Happy
up some
New Year.
practical, not so practical advice and some ridiculous stories. And see you guys next week. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and our newsletter. I'm gonna put our website up here. Wait long. There, thirstyand30.club. And you guys can keep in touch with us. Send us some weird stories. Come on, send it there. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
This is
you.
Bye.
Here's another topic. Bye guys. Stay thirsty. See you next week.
Stay thirsty.
Thirsty and 30.